The wind is blowing through my hair. The guy whose name is Storm is driving like this is his last ride, and I love it. I'm glad I didn't chicken out, and gladder that I'm going to have a hot bath and hot meal when we arrive at this clubhouse he told me about. He said I'm one of them now. Storm said that I'll never have to be hungry again. It's crazy that I agreed, but his brown kind eyes told me he was certain that he'll take care of me, and I believe him. For the first time, I believe someone besides my mother, and it's stupid, I know. But somehow, I feel lighter. I've never felt lighter, ever. I didn't get to see Fallon's boyfriend nicely, but the guy is tall and imposing. I'm scared of him. When his gaze tracked me from across the road at lasers, I just wanted to wither under his scrutiny. He probably thought I didn't notice, but I did. I watched him from the corner of my eyes as he stood across the road surrounded by his people. He was staring at me, and it made me feel like he was a hunter and me, his prey. Doesn't he know that prey never wants to get caught? But Storm has a warmth that I'd choose to trust. I saw interest spark in his gaze. It wasn't sexual, but more curiosity and then understanding when I asked, "Do I have to hold you and shit?" I inked that down to a good thing. He didn't mask his face, he didn't look down on me, but showed me that he understood. And I knew I'd be safe with him. Truth is, I was hungry and cold, so fucking cold. After I saved the girl and her boyfriend swiped the gun, something told me that I was going to have to go with these people, even if Fallon hadn't insisted. There was no way her boyfriend was leaving me. I was going willing or not. I had a choice to make. I could go willingly and get treated well, or I could go by force, and they'll spit on me and treat me like crap. I chose the logical route, willingly, and I'm glad, especially since this guy named Storm is taking me on a ride of my life. We stop at a gas station about 60 miles away from Washington, D.C. The bikes all park in one of the 4 gas lines. My arms are still snug around Storm's waist, my legs shaky and itchy. I can just imagine what people in cars must be thinking of seeing all these big machines moving together. I wonder if it keeps them up at night? The lights in the garage are bright, even with the helmet on. I've never been out at night. Normally I'm out cold by now or somewhere hidden. There's this weird feeling to it. I can't even explain it. These bikers are obviously naturals to the call of the night. I watch Fallon and her boyfriend climb off his motorcycle together and head for the garage shop hand in hand. My stomach grumbles at the thought of what they're going to buy, reminding me I haven't eaten since this morning. I lost out on that hot meal now. Guess I'm just going to have to stick it out until I get to this clubhouse. After our tank is filled, Storm taps my thigh, causing me to jerk and my heart rate to spike. I don't like it when men touch me. I don't like it when they touch my thighs especially. I want to run. My instincts are telling me to jump off, but my brain is telling me to stay. They aren't a danger to me. There are too many witnesses for Storm to do anything. I start shaking and Storm immediately gets off the motorcycle. My body starts to shiver, vision darkening. I focus on his helmet coming off his head. I watch his stubble jaw and thick brows covering his light brown gaze. There's a twinkle that is close to a smile tugging his lips as his eyes dance in humor. I don't like to be touched. I croak, pulling the helmet off. As a force of habit, I slip my hood over my head. It's going to be a hard habit to break when I get to their clubhouse. Let's hope they don't mind it too much. He watches me while I slip my hair under my hood. Okay, no touching, got it? You want a bite? Yes, something cold. I'm waiting for that hot meal you promised me. It's true. He bursts out laughing, and I can feel the change in atmosphere. Years on the street teaches you something that no amount of training ever will, the sixth sense. When we parked, the other bikers were easy and calm. Now the tension is thick in the air, and all the bikers' eyes are on us. I drop my head, Storm notices it, and he turns his back to me. I look up and instantly catch Fallon's boyfriend watching me. Storm walks a few steps, then spins around, opening his arms. Well? You want to eat, or what? I swivel my head to face him fully. A small smile paints my lips, realizing he's talking to me, and quickly I run after him. I never say no to food. He laughs again as we enter the garage shop with Fallon and her boyfriend in tow. I don't stare at either of them, even though with my hood covering most of my face I could, and they wouldn't even know. Storm gets a basket. Help yourself, girl. I smile under my hoodie and start putting chips and 2 sandwiches in the basket, mindful that I shouldn't push my luck. I snap a can of Coke from the shelf. My hand on a second for Storm. What's your name? Someone asks me, and that voice makes my pulse speed up and freezes me in place. He's talking to me. It's not Storm. It's the boyfriend. I don't know what to say, how to answer without lying. If there's one thing I like to do, it's a lie. I'm a good one too. I know they wouldn't believe what I say, but I got to buy myself time and say something. They'll let me go if they trust me, and if I'm lucky I could get a few nights of sleep at their clubhouse, maybe even a job or some shit. I did save that girl's life. And a fresh start is something I needed for a long time. What's yours? My question is meant to get him to shut it. He surprises me at how quickly he answers. 0. Now your turn. I glance at Storm and put the Coke in the cart. He sees my shaking hands and sends a death glare to 0, who hasn't looked away from me. It unnerves me, the heat of his stare blistering. Still, I won't face him. I don't want to. I don't want to put a face to the guy who has me riddled in fear. Don't you have a name, something? Why won't he drop it? Just leave it alone. I want to scream at him. Why is he trying to get a reaction out of me? Why must he look at me like that? I can feel it. I don't need to see him. I want to hide behind Storm, even though I barely know the man. The biker's insistence is tempting me to tell him something mean and hurtful, but I bite my tongue. Instead, I put one of the pudding things I see on top of the sandwich shelf into his basket, mindful that it's $4, and walk the 2 steps to stand next to Storm. I sneak a glance at Storm, who is quiet and sending very hateful glances to his supposed-to-be brother. 0 doesn't move away. He's not liking my silence. It's only after a tense minute that he seems to listen to Storm's unspoken words and drops it by flying past us. Fallon is behind him and gives me a sad smile before she follows the guy who I still haven't looked at. If you don't want any more of that. Storm tilts his head to the couple. I suggest you figure out a name for yourself before we get to Canla. We about 18 hours away. We should get there about 9 tomorrow evening. We'll stop in the next 4 hours or so for the night. Whereabout is that? 80 miles out Houston. I dry whisper, I'm going to Texas. His eyes sparkle when he starts filling the basket with more sandwiches and cans. Yeah, Canla isn't well known. We moved from Houston to Canla 3 years back. The town was getting run down by a gang of drug dealers. We brought them down and took the turf for our own. The plan was to go back to Houston, but the town was so welcome and shit. And we needed a place to stay that wasn't so central and gave us proper privacy. With a population of around 2,000, Canla seemed perfect. The 9 of us left Houston and started our own chapter in Canla. You gonna love the place. You gotta meet Rounder and Killer when we get there first though, but after that, I'll introduce you properly to the others. I walk on in front of him when he quietens, not sure what to say to that. These bikers are clearly dangerous, but Storm is growing on me. No one has ever spoken to me so much besides my mother, and she's dead now. I'm anxious to get to Canla, more so than them. I can't wait to get that bath. Gosh, I wonder how hot the water is going to be. And the food, are they going to cook meat? My mouth waters, and for the next 10 minutes or so, I'm in my own little world. I don't let it bother me when the lady standing behind Storm and me moves a few steps away from me. I know I smell. And I don't let it bother me when the male cashier sends me a reproachful look. I'm too busy in my own world, my mind firmly on what my first hot meal is going to be.